This is Richard back at you guys. Just kidding. Hey, we got Kevin's Astro van in the house, 4.3 liter motor. It's an '05. I guess this thing's probably got pistons that big in the motor. These 4.3s are tiny, tiny. So they did a little bit of compromising on the tranny to help these motors out with a different converter and stuff like that, different input shaft, a lot of things. Now this thing, we got a little small video we're going to add to this where the pan and the fluid in this thing, guys, you ain't, I mean, this thing is bad. So we're going to get this thing apart real quick and kind of give you an idea what a 4.3 looks like, torque converter and stuff. Now you can see the difference in the size of the converter, little bitty, tiny. You can see the mounting pads here. Now you can tell this thing has been getting hot on the converter clutch, and just, I believe it lost lockup probably a long time ago, and they've just been driving it because, let me tell you, look, you want to see some fluid?
Oh my, that's like worse than chocolate syrup.
That is.
That's not even.
Yeah, it's really bad. But also, if you get in here and notice, the input shaft change and stator change. So you have a totally different lockup O-ring. Little bitty shaft. Really, I wish that they probably could have left it alone, left the bigger shaft in here and just went to a different torque converter like that's in the Trailblazers or something. Just give a little bit of stall and left the diameter and had a bigger clutch and everything. I don't know why they really did that part of it. Got your vent hose here. You always want to make sure you blow through this, especially on your four-wheel drives. If your vent line's plugged up and you go to fill it up, it'll burp fluid out of the dipstick tube. So you want to make sure this tube's blowed out when you build it back too. Blow air through here and make sure this ain't plugged up with trash. So, yeah, I'll tell you, I've had hornets crawl in here and build a nest back up in here in this case in a core, and not find it. I'm telling you, it can happen. They crawled so far back up into the pump and built it up into the pump. So when you get a core out, you never know what you're going to find.
Well, let's get this core down.
Yeah, let's get this core down. I'll get my bell housing off. Kind of going a little bit backwards here this morning. It's Friday morning, guys, and we are excited. It's 8:30. 8:30. So, figure we can get this built in 4 hours, 4.5 hours possibly. Trent Cody's out in the shop, going every which direction. Annie's hanging out over there sleeping.
She's having a rough morning.
Yeah, she's been moping all morning. Annie has been.
I don't think she wants to leave the house.
No, we couldn't even get her out. She got out of bed, but she didn't want to get out of her bed that she usually gets in the morning in the den. So a little different. Now what we're going to do, we're still going to make this tranny stronger than what it was. You know, we're going to put the wide band, the Z-pack, all that type of stuff. Now, what's bad about this tranny is it's got so much varnish in it, the cleaning on this thing is going to be terrible. I mean, all the pieces have got this coating on here, and you can see it. This thing stinks.
There will be no air checking today.
So it's just everywhere. And it's going to be inside, in the case, every crack, crevice. I mean, you know, I did a tranny the other day. It took me 9 hours to put together, and it was a 47 RE out of a Dodge. I mean, you would not think that it would take you 9 hours to build one of those trannies. But when they come in as bad as they do, and you're using a pick to scrape stuff out of corners and cracks and crevices and everywhere, because if you don't get it out, the new transmission fluid you use will get it out. It will find it. So. Now guys, here we go.
Oh my God.
I won't even attempt to clean this. I'll get another pan put on here.
Well, that'll
I mean, and just trash it. The magnet I might save just because magnets we like to keep around. But you can see this here. I mean, truthfully, what it's going to take to clean this tranny, I'd probably be better off getting a core and building it. Because, I mean, the filter's just totally sealed off. I mean, it's just like...
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah.
Woo! Here comes the smell, guys. If you could be in the room today, you'd be running for the door. Actually, I'm going to open this door. She's going to have to, but man, this thing, guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to survive this teardown.
Yeah, you and me both.
Actually, I'm going to have to open this door too, guys. I don't think I've ever had one that you can't put your head over. I mean, a mask ain't going to help you any or nothing like that, but to knock the smell down.
Fan blowing towards it.
Yeah.
There it goes. The air's coming in the door. Whew.
And we have our PWM solenoid. Like I say, you can't put this in a parts washer or anything like that. I mean, the case you will, but we'll physically use 20 cans of carburetor cleaner getting this stuff clean. Because that's physically the only thing that's going to cut it. Solvent really doesn't cut this type of... yeah, this smell, this is real bad.
Okay, you're fine.
But you can't... it just won't take it off. So all this stuff's going to have to be replaced. Now this is a late model. It's got the late model solenoid. So.
I mean, it's so bad, it's dizzying.
Yeah.
Bad, the smell is.
Must have sharpened that socket, I think. Getting a little dull. Yeah, I talked about a 4-hour build at first. That ain't happening. I mean, you can, this thing is...
If you start over.
Yeah. Truthfully, it'd be better if I just went out and got a core. Because this thing is just beyond. Look how much this Ford accumulator piston here, how about this is packed with trash. Like I said. I mean, it's just,
Like mud.
yeah, it looks like best. Yeah. I mean, it's packed in there. So this is all stock, so nothing's been done to the valve body or anything like that. We are going to block the PWM solenoid, stuff like that, to help this little tiny converter. We had B&I ship us a converter yesterday, should be here this morning, so we can get this thing going today and test drive it. So, I mean, the gaskets are just, they come off. I didn't think it would. I thought I'd have to grind it off. You can see the plate right here still got some, starting to get some wear. So you can put a repair kit in there. Look at the other places. Got a smell, huh, Teresa? Yeah, it's that bad.
My arms cannot get any longer.
Yeah. You're standing pretty far back, Teresa. You don't want this on your clothes, I guarantee it. You wipe your clothes right and pull them out. We have our 3/4 accumulator right here. I say we will block this off if we can get it out. There we go. I mean, this thing is nothing but pasted in there. I mean, yeah, I don't want to ruin my squeegee. Hey, this squeegee's been through some stuff, guys, and it keeps bouncing back. If it gets a little wrinkly, I put it in an instant clean, let it clean up, and pull it back out, and my blade will be smooth as it is there again. Kind of crazy.
Be flat as a board.
Be flat as a board. Got our accumulator piston here for our 1-2 shift. So you Scotch Brite this up really nice. Now we do have, you can see here, we change all of our pistons and all of them that we do. Now if you have an aluminum one here already, you can use it and then put a new one on top of it. You can use your old seal on your old piston, but on the new piston you want to put a new seal out of the kit in there. That way you know it's sealed really good. But just your old piston first and then your new piston second. So always put a new piston here. The aftermarket piston has a longer shank here for better support. So Scotch Brite that up really good in there. Huh.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We got a new family member at the shop, guys. A friend of mine come in and threw it at me and said, "Hey, try it, Richard." He said he's had it for a few weeks and he ain't had a chance to use it. He got sick and been sitting at home. So he brought it to me and I thought I'd try it. So we're gonna wear it out and see. I kind of like it so far. It works really good. I don't have to hold the trigger down as long. It seems like it's got a little bit more RPM on the what do they call that thing? Not anvil, but can't remember what they call the end of that impact. But
The end of your impact.
yeah, almost looks like this has been painted, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. We got our front seal here. So let's go back here. Since this has been painted in the front, it looks like this thing's been out before. Let's see if they did any modifying to the PWM valve. And they haven't. It's just stock, but it's full of mud. But we will block this apart. That way we know we can get a little bit firmer lockup out of this thing. But man, it's been a while. I mean, because this pump is stained just as bad. So, but these people are traveling and they're from, they just bought this thing, right? Or did they? No?
They were out of California.
Out of California.
They just dropped it off. Didn't even call.
Or they fly back?
No, he had it on a trailer.
More on a trailer. Oh, they pull. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they towed it all the way up here.
From California, guys. Well, that's why you want to really, really step up your game. When you get people driving that far, guys, I mean, your game has to be top notch, and that's what it's.
They're supposed to be putting like a small lift kit on this when they get this back.
Are they?
Yeah.
So we definitely want to help it. Now, we do have some wear here. This pump body here will have to be replaced. So, look at your Stator Bushings. That thing almost looks like metal to metal. There's no brass in there. Look in here. Man, that thing stinks. But it does look like it's been painted. Kind of weird. So this thing could have been into before. Like I said, these things ain't got much power. You can see the pump guide, rotor guide is just melted too. It melted it all out. It looks like the converter was back into the pump rotor really nice. Didn't need any shimming. I mean, it had really good depth on it. Look at that. So we do have a cone style pump slot spring. This thing's wore plumb out. I mean, literally wore plumb out. So. There we go. That is some thick stuff. Okay, where'd that spring go? We'll drop it. But anyway, you want to look here on your rotor pin here that keeps your slide straight. There's your little spring right here. Don't want to lose that little spring. It sets down in here when you take it apart. It'll fall right out and you can lose it. Come in here and look at this. This is all wore out too. So the pump's totally gone. Pretty much is chunk it. Got a band anchor out. This does have a hard style pump O-ring. If I can get it out. I'm getting it out right now. My gosh. Run! Let me tell you, that's what I'd say. Of course our
even Annie's leaving.
Is she? Of course our drum's totally gone here. The band's totally burnt. Plumb up down to the rivets grinding into the drum. I mean, this drum's wiped out here. This your reverse clutches. Now I have new drums over here in the cabinet. Some of this stuff I can throw away and start out with new. Keeps from cleaning it. That's about the only thing. The reverse clutch. Like I said, this is a special shaft. Now, you could press this shaft out, put a regular shaft in, press this shaft out, put it in a regular drum. So the drum hasn't changed anything like that. Whoo, my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, look at this. Look at this 3/4 clutch. You think there's some wear in here? Huh. My load springs are still working. Look at that. Got that backing plate all the way up against the snap ring, nice and tight, so them load springs are working. I think it all goes back to the converter starting to fail, lockup failing, cooking the fluid, plugging the filter up, and then you just have a major train wreck from there. So I don't see me cleaning this drum out. I think it'll be trashed. I have a bunch of these outside in the trailer. Look at that.
Oh, I can't believe it's pulling it down still with as bad as it smells.
Yeah. Got your forward clutches. They're fried too. There ain't nothing left. They had it on a trailer. A good thing. So what we'll probably do with this one here is probably just trash it, go get a core out back and tear it down, because I just don't see us wasting our time and trying to clean this up. There's just too much wrong. Your sprag races wore out here too. I mean, it's just, you want to look here for any type of wear. This hub looks good. You don't see that very often. Normally, this race right here just grinds itself into it, but as thick as this oil is, it's almost like lubrication, even though it's burnt. Keep some of this stuff going. This little bearing here, you always want to check, guys, really good. I talk about in all my videos about winding and parking neutral, and you're thinking it's the pump or the filter, and it's that little bearing.
Well, this would not pull itself in.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing's trashed. Man. We have a hard pump O-ring. Just for you guys. That's the only reason why we're still standing here, because on this one here, we would already, if it was a core, this thing would already hit the trailer. But I'm telling you, this thing is bad. If you're forward planning. Now what's crazy though is when you get fluid this bad like this, some of the hard parts can be protected from that thicker oil. It's kind of crazy how it works, but I mean, these planets look brand new. You'll see that. Some of the bushings will look new. Look at that bushing, doesn't look like it's ever been used. And it's mainly because of the viscosity of the oil got thicker, stuff like that. Just a lot of heat, gelling. Our sun gear. Look at it really good. Like I said, a lot of times when you see them like this, you take them apart, you're amazed at the hard parts on what they look like. I mean, a lot of times they look brand new. The rest of it would be trash, but the hard parts look new. Try that first. I wish the girls were here. I'd have them tear this one. That'd been a good one for them. Actually, when they tore down some, they weren't this bad, but they tore down some pretty bad cores. You know, you never know when you buy a core what it's going to look like, and they tore down some pretty rough ones. And we have our low reverse clutch here. Brag assembly. All this stuff's wore out.
You think?
Look at our plant. Like I said, a lot of times you take apart that stuff will look brand new. And this plant, I guarantee I cleaned up these gears, look like they've never been used. So when you look at your ring gear really good, clean everything. I mean, it's just one nasty thing. So, there you go, guys. What do? Do we clean this one, or do we get a core and tear it down? What do you think, Teresa? I think we need to get a core and tear it down, because this thing is just nasty. It'll take me 10 hours to build this tranny back. So guys, this is what we go through here on a daily basis. I mean, 9 hours on a 47. I mean, that's how bad it was, full of metal. You've seen the video. We got a video of the pan taking it down, no fluid in it, burnt just like crazy. So now you see this video here, what we go through to physically clean this, because you have to be able to eat off every part when you put these things together. So, and you wonder why I don't do build videos, because I'm just so busy back here cleaning. If I could get somebody back here cleaning, but then I wouldn't trust them, I'd clean it again. That's how thorough I am. So here it is. But anyway, Teresa, I want to thank you for recording again. Guys, we got a ton more jobs coming in the door daily, so we got a bunch of more shows to come. Y'all don't forget to subscribe. It's Friday. Let's go home and relax here in about 5 hours. Y'all have a great day.